Well, hello. My name is Barry Newman, and I'm here today to give you some information about how to prevent identity theft. Identity theft, to begin with, uh, we're not ending the pandemic, but we're getting closer to the end. We're this is almost the beginning of June, and a lot of things have changed in the United States and around the world. So. Um, at the time before the pandemic started, the biggest issue in the United States was how to prevent identity theft. What do I do if I lose my identification? What do I do if I lose my social security number? What do I do if a thief finds a way into my bank account, or so many different ways of online thieves today? Uh, of course, securing your social security number is one of the most important ones, but there's so many things we could lose with people today. But the first question, we've got a room full of people that I'm talking to, and their first question is, do you know how to prevent identity theft? So we've all heard of how scary identity theft is, but do you know how to prevent identity theft? The thought of someone stealing your identity and using it for five to deal with the consequences is a nightmare. Luckily, there are plenty of ways to keep your identity safe and reduce your risk of identity theft. The first step is understanding the identity theft and what it is, the warning signs, and then you could take the action necessary to prevent identity theft, also called identity fraud. So the second question is, what is identity theft? Identity theft is when somebody uses your personal information, such as your social security number, your name, your address, your credit card, or bank information. When they do this, they assume your identity and commit fraud or other criminal acts under your name. What happens when someone steals your identity? When someone steals your identity, they generally use that information for their own financial gain. Frequently, identity thieves will take money out of your bank account, charge up your credit cards, open new utility accounts, or even use your health insurance. A couple of rare but still possible scenarios are an identity thief filing a tax return in your name and getting your refund, or even giving your name to the police during an arrest. That to me has got to be the scariest. If someone got a DUI and the police stopped you and they have your social security number, they'd be putting you in jail. And the other interesting fact was, a friend of mine who unfortunately lost her husband, and when she called her CPA to do his taxes, the accountant said, well, uh, his taxes were already done by an accountant out of our state. And they were just so upset that this had happened. And it wound up costing my friend $15,000 to get her dead husband's identity back. I think it's a number that would make me pretty scared. So you could see identity theft and an expense is usually a big thing. Now, the company I refer to identity theft is ID Seal, and they give you $1 million insurance policy. So I'm going to go on to the next question in a minute, but I want you all to take it easy, rest, and I will be right back.